questions to ask throughout a campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming on even deep diving. Fan cams, reactions, watch along, still the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South, they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Yes guys, Eagle-Eyed Football here. This is the away day vlog. Palace vs Villa at Villa Park. Currently on the way. I was being a bit lazy, couldn't be asked to record earlier, but look, I'm looking forward to it. I'm very last minute because I wasn't originally going to go, but chairman here said, no, there's 2 more tickets. And I've got the week off next week, so I thought, yo, why not? Why not? It's a good away day. Both teams are very similar right now. I think Palace released a stat earlier. I think we've got the same shots, same goals scored, near enough same passes. But we've got a lot more dribbles. I think, some biased stats, as all clubs normally do. But making a journey up there. Hope you guys enjoy the vlog, and I'm hoping for 3 points today. Come on, up the Palace. Away day fuel secured. Heading back to the whip because we might be late, but it's Eagle-Eye Football. It's still going to get a nugget review, don't you worry. Back again with a cheeseburger review. Let's go for the first bite. Very fluffy, got the right amount of sauce. Tastes quite nice actually, I might go for another bite. Got a love of gherkin as well. Chairman, what do you think of the burger?
Superb.
Brilliant. I'll see you in the nugget review. Crunchy on the outside, fluffy on the inside. It's beautiful. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. On to Villa. Just pulled up at the car park, and look what I see in the distance. JC here from Eagle-Eye Football. The team has just come out. I'll read it out for you now. Guide to starts in goal with Klein, Gay, Anderson, Mitchell, with Decore, Lakonga and Eze in midfield, Elise out to the right, Zaha on the left and Ayew up top. Bench, we've got Whitworth, Ward, Richards, Luca, Hughes, MacArthur, Ahamada, Mateta and Edouard. Good team. I'm very happy to see Zaha starting again. It's going to be a massive inspiration for all the players. We're actually going to have a shot on target today because we haven't seen one since October away from home. Looking forward to the game, definitely. Villa away is a pretty good away game, but this is a team that we should be playing well with. I'm happy to see all the players starting today. If I was going to make a change, it'll probably be Edouard in for Ayew, but there's probably a reason behind it. But I'm up for it. I'm happy. It's a little bit different to what me and Dan predicted on our Tats Eagle. I'm looking forward to seeing how we play, where we set up. You never know, Elise could be in the 10 and Eze out wide, but it's good to see everyone starting again. It's good to see that we've not got that many injuries as of now, so hopefully I don't jinx it. That's not wood, so I can't touch it. But let's get it. Let's see what happens up the Palace. Eagle! Matt, what's your thoughts on the team today?
I'm pretty happy with it, to be fair. At least we're going at them. I mean, last few games we've sat back, not really gone at them, and I think to get rid of Mateta from the side is probably the right answer. Whether he could have put Edouard in and Wilf a bit deep instead of Ayew, but I think the balance away from home to have Ayew in there is probably the right answer. But I don't know. I think you come out today with a point, get to 60 minutes, and you go at them. It's not a bad effort, really. But there we go.
So building on from last weekend, what do you reckon you need to do better?
Last weekend, I mean, put the ball in the net, innit? You got Wilf up top, cause a bit of chaos, and I think just having Wilf back psychologically makes a big difference. We get Wilf on the side, and we all know what he is, what he's about. He's Palace through and through, and just to have him in and around the team makes such a big difference. So you got Jordan in there. Jordan will shut off probably that left hand side, cover Mitchell, and then you got the other 3 pushing forward. And hopefully, I mean, we don't know how fit Wilf is, we don't know where Wilf is at, but penalty 1-0.
So interestingly, you mentioned.
So with Zaha starting again, is that going to be a big boost to the team?
I think obviously we've not been scoring recently, so we're putting someone who's terrorised the Premier League in for 2 or 3 years. every time you play against both Zaha, you know there's going to be a goal in every 1 or 2 games. So if you've not been scoring, then putting someone who's guaranteed a goal every other 2 games is the best decision you can take. 3-0.
Personally, I reckon it will be a draw, but I think Zaha, he's been injured, so I reckon he'll last about 60 minutes. I mean longer maybe if it's like close in the game. But Zaha against Matty Cash, if he gets him booked early, I think it'll be carnage for Palace. I think he gets him booked early, he'll skin him for the rest of the game. So, exactly. Go on.
Teams out. Chairman and Dan, what's your thoughts on the starting lineup and how do you think we're going to play today?
In terms of the starting lineup, I mean, it's a bit way off what me and JC said would be like our perfect lineup, but taking the Vieira into account, I think it's probably the best lineup we could have imagined, really. I'm glad that Zaha's back. Personally, I wouldn't necessarily have started him because, I mean, he is superhuman, so I could see obviously Vieira sees him more than we do, but if it was down to me, I would have been like, oh, maybe this game, like, kind of leave it out kind of thing. But besides that, I mean, it's not really anything different or anything crazy that I would have said. I don't do score predictions. Last time we did a score prediction, I said 4-0 Palace, and we had a 0-0, and it was one of the worst games I've ever seen in my life. And I've watched Tooting and Mitcham United play, so.
Well, I disagree with Dan. I think it's a no-brainer. He's trained for 2 weeks. I think that Zaha had to start. I think Mateta's a bit unlucky to get dropped, though. Okay, I'm only joking. He deserved to get dropped. But I think it's quite a strong team. It's just so long as we can get some quality balls into Zaha and get some chances. He's trained for 2 weeks now, so if he had any aggravation with his hamstring, it would have come out by now. But I'm hoping, you know, I mean, if we played up against Brentford away, I hope we start fast. I would take a draw, definitely at this point. But anything, if we get 3 points, I'll be absolutely over the moon. But anyway, 1-0 Palace. What do you think?
I don't predict scores.
He don't predict scores. He don't do duvets.
Only on the league. Only on the league. I don't do it in real life.
How many pints have you had?
Surprisingly, not that many, actually.
He's gone for the extra strong lager.
Fun fact for you as well.
Yeah.
The reason why we originally played in Tarrant Blue was because of these guys.
Scored a great goal. Zaha went round the keeper. Now it's VAR time. Let's see what he says. It's taken a while. It's got to be tight. Draw the line there. It's offside. I reckon it's offside. Offside. Half time. Half time. It is 1-0 Villa. We did score after 5 minutes. Eze put Zaha through. Zaha took it round the keeper and we scored. We thought we'd done it. We thought we got our first away goal in 9 games. Thought we actually scored away. Had a shot on target. VAR ruled it out. It looks half a foot offside maybe. But it's not good enough, is it? Eventually Villa start growing their way back into the game again. And we score an own goal. Too easy for them. They go down our left side. Eze doesn't track back really, doesn't press. The Congo's slow getting out, and John McGinn's got Mitchell's number, man. Whatever Mitchell does, McGinn's on him. He's doing it better than him, and Mitchell's having a really tough time today. For us to get out of this, we're going to have to press forwards a lot more. Whenever we press forwards, we seem to catch them off guard. When they're playing around the back, they are dreadful. Kamara and Mings are definitely too slow on the ball. We've done it. We've done it. We've pressed them. We got the ball off them up high, but it's Ayew, innit? He didn't shoot, and his pass was dreadful. If he just passed it straight away to Zaha, if he shot, maybe we'd have something out of it. But it's not good enough right now. We've just gone back into our shell completely. We started so well, and now look. Unfortunately, I have to call out Tyreek Mitchell. He's not good enough. Today he's not been good enough. Last couple of matches he's not been good enough. You can see that they're trying to attack down our right side. Every attack's going down there. But I think since they realise that they've got the beating of Mitchell, everything's down the left now. I hope that we can try and play better. Vieira really needs to get Eze's off the ball work better, man. He's just not good enough right now. He's not making supporting runs. Zaha had the ball deep, running forwards, and he had a whole line of players in front of him. Eze just walked past them, basically. If he had an intent in his run, he would have dragged a player, but he didn't. So obviously there was no run coming from him. But I hope we change it up. Maybe Edouard on for Ayew in the second half. But it's not looking good, is it? Not looking good, but I hope we can get a draw out of this, keep our unbeaten run going, but it's not looking good right now. We'll see you at full time. You should be ashamed. You should all be ashamed. Absolutely dreadful. Listen to this. All the boos. It's all deserved. Full time. We're back in the car. Aston Villa 1, Crystal Palace 0, and there's so much to say, but also nothing to say at all. Absolutely embarrassing. Probably the worst away performance this year. We scored in our own net, so that doesn't help. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but that was a dreadful performance. Second half was probably even worse than the first half. Chet Decore, we always say can't praise him enough, but today he lost his head a bit. He gave away a very, very, very light yellow card, even when the player was going away from goal. There was no need to take that challenge, no need to get carded there, and in a 50-50 challenge where he gets it wrong, he gets another yellow card and he's sent off. So now we're down to 10 men and we've scored an own goal. I think that McGinn had Tyreek Mitchell's number today. He was dreadful today. I think Mitchell was mainly at fault for the goal that they scored. I don't think Sambi Lokonga did himself any favours. He didn't come out, didn't try and pressure McGinn, didn't pressure Balduena. Eze, I'm sorry, I keep saying it. I feel like a repeating record. His off-the-ball work is absolutely shocking. It was going down his side. The goal went in. I had a look. Where is he? You still stand on the halfway line. You're thinking, mate, what are you doing? You need to at least track back. Your presence there will just make them maybe make a different decision instead of going all the way to the byline. I think the only people that you could say had a half-decent game today was Gay, Anderson, and Gaeta, really. I don't think I can say anything for anyone else. It was all embarrassing. And genuinely, if results won't still keep going our way, we are going to be in this relegation fight. Somehow, it's still only 6 points. We are still 12th. But it's not good enough. I don't know whether it's a Vieira thing for not playing everyone in the right position, because for some reason Elise still plays in the 10. Zaha's up front when we've got 2 strikers on the bench. I don't know, it just might be the Crystal Palace way to do things wrong, but it's just frustrating to see that we feel like we've got the players to play well, but it's just not working, and I can't really put my finger on it. It's just many different things just mashed up together to make it all shocking, really, isn't it? At the end of the game, many boos. Hughes came on, Maka came on, which was good to see. Ahamada came on, the Malteser came on. It was dreadful, man. But we think that we need a goal. We need someone to hold up the ball. We've got Edouard and Mateta. Who do you bring on? You bring on Mateta. You're thinking, what are you doing, Vieira? It's just a bit frustrating. I don't know what else to say, really, guys. Anything else you want to say?
Oh, what an absolutely shocking performance that was from start to finish. And even when we came out second half, we actually somehow managed to play worse than we did in the first place. And the worst thing about this whole game is the Villa were equally shocking. They really were. I mean, they didn't have a shot until obviously we scored the own goal, and then Guay made one really good save, and that was the only shot on target they had. But the players have got to take some responsibility, but so has Vieira. I mean, we could see it standing in the crowd that every time you press Mings and Kamara, they fell apart and they just gave the ball away. Yet we let them have 15, 20 yards every single time to look up, walk a few round, literally walking pace, and then pass it. And every time somebody closed Mings down, he gave the ball away. He kicked out for a throw-in. All right, and Ayew nicked off in the first half. Why didn't he shoot? He's sitting in the box. He's in front of goal and he's going to try and pass to Zaha, who's got 3 men on him. It's just ridiculous. It really is. They just don't shoot enough. But the worst thing about it is the intensity of players. It's like they really didn't want to be here. You know, they didn't want to press. They didn't want to tackle. They got just bullied all over the field, really. It's just a embarrassing performance from start to finish. And we, you know, I'm pretty sure if Anderson hadn't scored their own goal, they wouldn't have scored. We would have got a draw out of this, which makes it even worse. They were there for the taking, yet we just couldn't put 2 passes together. Really couldn't. It was a shocking, embarrassing performance, and the players should hang their head in shame because it was rubbish. Anyway, on to the next away game.
Dan, is there anything else you want to say? Want to add to it?
I prefer not to speak.
Why not?
Alright, go on then. Where do I begin? Well, I don't know. If I began, I think that would be better than most of the players who started today, because they didn't begin. They were terrible. For me, I've backed Vieira this entire time. I've been saying, oh, we've got this run of games, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, like, and I think today was a very important game. For us to pick up points, because we've got City next and then we've got Arsenal after that. I think today the biggest thing for me that was disappointing was that Vieira decided to start Zaha up front. Okay, I'm going to let that linger. Because when has Zaha ever played well up front? Since maybe 2017 when we beat Chelsea 2-1 at home.
He scored, though.
Well, he did in 2017. I just don't understand why Edouard isn't being played. Shout out Joseph, that was my nephew who asked about is Edouard frustrated and that, and then Vieira replied, I just don't understand why he's not being played. Obviously, if it's something in the training ground, then obviously that's all power to Vieira and all that kind of stuff. But then that also begs the question, why was another striker being brought in? If they knew that there was someone who wasn't going to play very well, and then Mateta, let's be honest, he was never any good anyway. Why did we then sell Benteke, and then not replace him? I think there's a lot of things to be kind of proportion of blame. It's one of them. I wouldn't say it's entirely Vieira's fault. I wouldn't say it's entirely the club's fault, because I don't think either of them are really helping each other. I think that Vieira hasn't been helped out, but then he's not helping himself out by not playing the players that probably should really be playing. And conversely, it's not entirely the board's fault that Vieira is deciding to play Matera up front, for example, or Zaha up front, for example. But at the same time, they really should have brought a backup to like Tyron Mitchell, who had a shocker today, and I thought was for blame of the goal. It's also their fault for the fact that I don't actually know. But I think they can also apportion the blame to themselves as well. But in terms of the performance, I think that might have been the worst performance of the season.
And yes, guys, that was the Crystal Palace versus Aston Villa vlog. It ended 1-0 to Aston Villa. Not good enough, but we'll see you in the review. I hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. Like, share, subscribe. It's me, JC from Eagle Eyed Football, and we're out. Peace.